good morning, and welcome to this episode here in the series Monday Morning's Mixed Media Piece. It has been a while since I've been doing anything here in my big book, and today I think it is going to be the last episode in this book, and it is episode 43. And I, of course, will put a link for playlist for what else is in this book here under the little word more or under the video here. If you're looking YouTube on your television and not on an iPad or tablets, I don't know how you can find it because I don't look YouTube on my television, but I know there is a way for finding the information, and you perhaps know that already. But everything I mention will be and talk about with links on will you find here below under the little video, under this video here under the little word more. My name is Lisbeth. I'm Danish, so pardon my bumpy English, but you probably can understand most of what I'm saying. Before we get started, I want to say a little peep. I have a Ko-fi account, and if anybody wants to support my work here with my challenges or with my channel here, you're more than welcome to that. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for those of you who have been supporting me there. It's no, don't feel any obligations, but you have the possibilities if you want to. But what else do I want to say? I don't think I want to say much more, but I will tell you about what my plan is for, I think, the last spread here in this old cookbook. As I said, it is an old cookbook, and it is about, what is it? 25 by 25 centimeters. And when I bought it, most of the pages here in front of the book were rough papers, but the last papers here in the book are some very glossy papers like this, and it is hard to get anything to hang on to this paper. So the last spread here I made, and there's a video for that, is some chalk paint with, I think there's a little sand or something in it. I don't know. It was some cheap ones I bought in our local supermarket to try, and yeah, I like the colors of them, but they are like sandpapers when I touch them, and that is why they are not so nice to paint directly onto. So I have decided I will make a layer of old book pages and old papers with text on. I have some old books I have bought in the second-hand store. I have some in Russian and some in Spanish, and I have something from a Thai newspaper, and I have some from the Hebrew Bible, and I have different things I will glue on. But I will show you in a second when we start what my plan is. But when I look at that here, I can see I also have this spread I have done. I can't even remember. It's not on a video, but perhaps I can make a bonus video and figure out to do something with this spread. But else, this will be the last spread, and it is since it is episode 43, I don't think there are 43 here because I just numbered this Monday Morning's Mixed Media Piece, and before this book I had another book. A smaller book I was doing whatever I fancied to do these Monday mornings. So when this is done, I will find another book and take care of that. I don't pick one with very glossy papers, because it's not so nice to work on as the more rough papers are. But that and that will be called 44, because I think this is an ongoing story here. It's so nice to have a book like this to work in, and it's, I think I get gave a couple of dollars in our local Red Cross store or shop we have here. But you can probably find books like that in where you live, in second-hand stores or flea markets or whatever. Yeah, but as I talked about here, this is my plan to glue a lot of these pages down to make a big patchwork substrate. And I don't know if you can remember it. I will also put a link for that, and just a second I will find it. Some time ago I again altered an old book, and all the images in this book was images I picked out from some very, very, very old yearbooks or magazines, or what we can call them. Our National Museum here in Copenhagen have all the years way, way back, and I think the ones I was looking at, the eldest was from 1931, and the latest one I had was from 1956. And I particularly like to use that because that was the year I was born, and now you can figure out I'm turning 70 this year. But in all these yearbooks there, I picked images out I think was good for this book and this story about the old days in this book. But in there also were these two images here, and I really like them, and I have saved them. It is some shaman clothing. I don't know what it is. I think it is for some kind of ceremony, and it's the back of it here in this image. And also here it's the back, and it's a lady who had been drawing it, and this is a replication of it in this yearbook. So I've been saving them, and I think I want to use them today here in this book. And before I do that, I think I will take pictures with my phone of them, because I want to put the originals in here, but because I like them very much, I never know if I can use them another time in some other projects. I will take pictures of them, and that's also a way for you to do that. If you have something very special, you can either use the copies you take with your phone, or you can use the original ones and have the copies for later if you want that. So this is right now my plan. So a layer of all these different old book pages, and I will do some stamping and some stenciling and so on, and then figure out how to place these. I have to figure out what it's called in English, but I will do this in the next clip, and where to place them and what else to put on here. So that is the big plan right now. But as you know, the plan isn't bigger than I can change my mind during the process, and nobody knows what this will end up with and how it will go. But we will see. So let's start gluing some of these old book pages on. And I've just put some of the old pages I've pulled out of the book here between, so to protect here. I don't think it's so necessary here, but and I decided to use a glue stick and not matte medium, because if I use matte medium, and I could do that, the pages are buckling already, and if I use matte medium, they will buckle even more. And that's the more viscosity there is in a glue, the more your papers will wrinkle. And there are ways to get them flat, but since I've glued several pages together here, I can feel it. There are ripples all over here, so I will go for the glue stick. And also for the sake of this videoing here, because that doesn't take nearly as long to dry as it does when I'm using matte medium. And I don't need a substrate right now because I'm putting glue here on the pages, so it doesn't matter. some Japanese here. And here I can overlap. Yeah, I have another one if I'm running out. So here I just go to the edges, so that's why I'm not as tearing the two of the sides, because I like these are teared, but I don't know if you could see it, but it is necessary there. If I have some overhang, of course I will cut it off. Some of these papers are very brittle. Yeah. I have an old cloth here somewhere there, so I can burnish it down. But it isn't very exciting looking at all this gluing, so I think I will come back when I have finished up gluing these 2 pages. And don't be precious with your glue stick. Use a good amount so you're sure it sticks down. There. But I will do this all over the spread, and then I can show it to you, and then I will go and find my gesso so I can give it a light layer of gesso. So now both pages have a nice layer of all kinds of old book pages, and yeah, some newspaper, and yeah, there's a little of everything here with text on. So now I will give it some stamping, I think, before I put gesso on. And I have put some, let me see here, I've digged these out here, and not so much, but just a little here and there and everywhere. That reminds me of an old Beatles song. This should be stays on, one that doesn't get diluted, or it is not water soluble, let me say it that way. So not with that one. You can use any kinds of stamps, whatever you have. It's just to give it a little extra here and there. Because most of it will perhaps be covered up when I'm putting gesso on, but you never know what pops up. Through the layers, and it's all about layers and layers. Enough of that one. Let me see what is this one is. Yeah, I think I'm nearly at the point where I have enough. me see here. Yeah, I think I will go for that. That must be enough. So on with the lid, and this lid here, so it can stay moisty and nice next time I reach for it. I have my doubts. Am I going to do some stenciling now, or am I going to do that after I have put gesso on? Perhaps I will find a little black paint and do a little stenciling also. I will use my little jelly plate here as a palette. So here I have some dark paint or black paint, can I say? Yeah, it's black. Oh, yeah, that must be enough for a start. And here I have a little sponge. So let me go for perhaps for this one here. And the best result you get by not have very much paint on, but a smaller amount and dab a lot of times instead. That gives the nicest, crispiest look. And I don't fill all the stencil out here, just a little here and there. And you can also just lift it up there and see if you like it. And I think this is enough there. So let us put it up here, and I think I need a little more black here. I think it was too much, perhaps. And just go over here, place it down here with my fingers. And most of it will probably be covered up here with the gesso in a second, but layers, 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 as we say. Yeah, I think that is enough there. And this I will just roll off here in a second. And I think I'll just wipe my fingers off. I'll give this a second to dry. So I just took an old book page, roll off my brayer, put the stencil upside down and got this image. And again, my plate, rolled the paint out, put the stencil over and roll it over it again, and then put it down here. So now I have a nice piece of paper for next time I'm doing something, and you quite easily can make a lot of papers that way. So now for the gesso. So let us start here on this side here and shake it, shake it, shake it, baby. And here, and I think I will be a little light-handed here with it. Sorry for the noises here. And I will go over this also. So there. And I can need a little more here. It always dry up lighter than it looks right now. And if you're not so keen on it, it's so translucent perhaps as it is right now, you can give it a layer more. Yeah, you can give it as many layers as you like. And now you can see that because this gesso has more viscosity in it. It doesn't buckle yet, but it starts to be a little more wobbly. And the text starts to disappear. So you can just see something up through, and that is what I like. So I will do that on the other side and let it dry, and then we can look at it and see if it needs a layer more. While this is drying, I have been looking at these two images, and I can't quite decide if I want to fussy cut them out with a little border of that color, or if I want them with torn edges. And to figure that out, the only way is to start tearing it out with something around here so I can see how it looks, because if I don't like that, I can always fussy cut it. So that is what I will try to see. What looks best. I can do one of each. Yeah. Away with that. It is quite easy to tear this paper here, so I must be a little careful. So there. So this here for the neck. Yeah. Somehow I like this because it emerged into the other surface. But I'll try this one also. Cut most of it off before. And away with that. Yeah. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I forgot to Google what it was called this year. I will do this into the next clip in the video. And I will have to remember. Yeah, I think I will go with this. It will be too neat if I fussy cut them out totally. I like this here. So now I know that, and that here isn't totally dry yet, so I will have to wait a little more. So now it is so dry, so I can give it a little more, and I think I will try to give it some ink. And I have my water here, and I have, yeah, where did I put my brush and my spray bottle? I will go and get that. Yeah, you can see things, but it was lying under here. My spray bottle is here, and I have some water in a jar here. And I can't quite remember which one of the two colors it is that I like, so perhaps I will just shake it again and give it a little dab and see if it is one of the other. I have an antelope brown and a sepia. Yeah, perhaps it is better with the white paper. Yeah, that is quite dark. Oh yeah, I really like this color. But let us see the other one. And on with the lid, because I can so easily knock a bottle down, and then you have ink all over the place. And that's not nice. Yeah, it's more brown. I think I will go for the antelope brown for a start and see how that goes. Yeah, and where to put all this? So here it is. Perhaps I can use both. Yeah, you never know. Let's go for it. And then I will take my spray bottle. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's nice. Just let it do what it wants to do. And you can see you really don't need very much, because these inks here are so pigmented, so perhaps it would be nice if it's going like this here. I didn't have any clue or idea of what would end up, and I still don't know when I start here how it would end up. Yeah, perhaps go just a tiny drop of the brown there and see how that goes. Yeah, now it's mixing with the other, but I don't mind that. So let us go up here in the other corner also and spray that. Yeah, that got quite dark there. So on we go here. The spray. And I can let it run. Here, and I will just dab it up here in the crease. So perhaps we should do the same up here, but down here. Spray it and let it run. Dab it up there. Yeah, that looks quite nice. So I think I will let, yeah, perhaps it can need a little more of the brown up there. I will let this dry and try to place my elements and see how that looks. And at one point I have to glue them on and work around them. So I will see if it needs more before I glue the focal points down. I have tried to put them different places here on the sides, or the two sides here on this in this spread. And I think this is where I like them most. I think this is one is going too far out here. And again, then I could have put it down here. But then this one needs to go up there, and there's too much white there, I think. So I think this is the way I will glue them down. And there is much white there, and that's okay. But I have these OT bags, so I was wondering if I should glue just a strip of such a thing down here. Yeah. And I also have this one here. I have a lot of them. I drink a lot of tea, so I save them. So I have tons of these old tea bag things here. So I'll put this one under here. Yeah, make it a little more narrow here. Perhaps something like this, or perhaps this could go down here. And then this could overlap there and there. I think this is the way I will go for it. So first I have to glue these two down, and I will just do that with my glue stick, and then I will also glue these two down with my glue stick. So if we do this one first, a little fifth could be, if I can find my pencil, it's not. Where do I have that? Yeah, but put a little mark if you know it's going to be there. Say so. I will just see if that is where. There and there. You could put a little pencil mark there and there, because then you know you have it the right place. You can also, because it's a glue stick, like it's a tea bag, take your glue stick, lift it up, and just put a good amount of glue on here, and squeeze it down here. Again, you can see the text peeking up through, and I like that. And again, squeeze that down here. They are so lovely to work with, these old tea bags. And then there's this piece here, there. I will just take the back side of this and put a good amount of glue on it. There, and away with that. and whoops, see how it was. You have a couple of seconds before it dries. And again I will take my other cloth and place it down here. And I really like that. That looks so yummy, yummy, yummy. I will do exactly the same on the other side, and then I will decide what to do next. A shaman's shirt, the Google says. And that is probably correct. But looking at it now, I think there are a few places I would give it a little more color. And the last thing is stamping with some, or stenciling or stamping with some gold, I think. But here I would give it a little more, and around here I will give it a little more. Here I will stamp with gold, and here I will stamp with gold, and here I will give it a little more color, I think. So that is my plan. So now I will have to find the antelope brown. It is here. And spray it. And here I think I will use my wet pencil because I don't want to go into this suit here. Put a little up here. Yeah, it just perhaps doesn't matter if I go a little into the torn edges there. So, and there I would do the gold, and here I just, oh, that was a lot. That was a lot. So let us see here. Again, all the stamping and stenciling is seeping up through, and I really like that. So again, I would have to let this dry before I decide my next step on this journey here. It isn't dry yet, but I think I can do the stenciling now, and I could take a golden heavy body and then it will really be gold, but I'm not that interested in it being so gold. So I will try this one here instead, this gold here, and I will just give it a blob here on my jelly plate here I have beside me, and again my dirty sponge, but that is all I have now. And this is a stencil here, Tim Holtz stencil. I normally don't very much like to use stencil that are so recognizable, but let us see what this gives. There are water in my sponge, I can feel, but perhaps that doesn't do so much because I don't want it to be so gold in your face. So perhaps it's fine. Yeah, but it isn't so heavy. Yeah, I think that is okay. just a little. I will do it exactly there, and I didn't go all over the stencil, but just a little of it. It could perhaps have been more visible, but or more gold, but I will go for this. I think you really can call this mixed media. I have so many materials going on here in this one. Yeah, that is all. I don't think I want anything more. Yeah. Just dabbing a little of the last gold off here. So again, this also has to dry. So now this is nearly dry, and I'm thinking about, I have this stamp here, just giving it a little there and a little there. That is one thing, and the other thing is, do I want to go over with my black Stabilo all the way around them to give it a little more definition? Oh, that is really tough, but I think I will go for that, because perhaps they are drowning a little too much. So, but let us try with the stamp here first. And I don't want it to be black. So, let me just take the, yeah, I think that perhaps is okay. Yeah, just like that, nothing more than just a little hint there. And the same up here. And this one became a little more. Yeah, so now you have to stop, because then we can keep on, and then suddenly the whole area is black. And that is not the meaning. So let us see. I have my water brush here. Where can I start? Yeah, perhaps I will start here. And as soon as I put my water brush on, it will go darker. But how much darker do I want it? So it is Mom's light hand I'm doing this here. And I'm really not putting very much black on here. It can easily be too much. I think it needs a little. I could also have taken a marker instead, that you don't need to put water on, and just a fine tipped one, and just gone over it. You also could have done that, but I think it pops more out here on the page when I put this on here. I don't mind it smears because then it looks like it belongs there. But my fingers are a little dirty now. So, yeah. But I will go all the way around this one and the other one. And then we can have a look and see how that looks. I will be back. So now they have I've been all around here with a black stabilo roll and smeared it, and I really think they make these pop. So the last thing I will is go over it and see if there are places where I need to give it a little extra. And looking at it, there are a few places. This is just my Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2. And there are a few places where I think it could need a little more here. And especially there, I think there's too much stamping. So I'll just go over it there. There. What else? I think it is nice. You can keep on, and at one point I have to say, now Lisbeth, you have to stop, because I can sit here all day, and I've been sitting here quite long already. And now I will stand up and look at it and look a little further away than I'm sitting now and see if there's anything I want to do different. Yeah, as I said, I can keep on, but I don't think things often get better by keeping on and on and on, because I want some of these light areas. But I'm happy I dared to put the black outline on there, because that makes it pop. Now I will remove these so perhaps it is easier to see instead of turning this all around. Yeah, it already looks much better now. Okay, I will stop and let this dry. I think it is so dry now, so I can talk a little more. But this is just one way of using an old book and using some images you stumble upon. It can be in magazines, it can be in perhaps some advertising for traveling or whatever, old books or whatever. Save the images that really speaks to you, like these two did to me. I have no Indian blood in me. I'm of Viking inherited, but the Indians has always fascinated me, and Denmark, Greenland is a part of Denmark, and when I look at people from Greenland, and when I look at movies with Indians, I can see some likeness. I don't know if the Indians were the one who walked all the way to Canada and up and over to Greenland, or they walked the other way, or they didn't walk at all. But there are some things in their faces I can see. Something they come from the same and not look like a pale, red-headed, a little chuggy Danish girl. But yeah, use images if you want to and splatter around and see what you can do. And these backgrounds with a lot of different old book pages gives a nice substrate to work further onto. I had no idea when I started this here a couple of hours ago that it would end up like this. It could have ended up in many other ways, but I am really happy about it. And as I said, it is the last spread here in my book, and I probably will stamp something here and here as I have in the beginning of the book. and say this was this book. And if I will do something about a little bonus video where I do something with these, I don't know. But else, next time I do a Monday morning's mixed media piece, it will be in a new book, and perhaps I shall show you how to, you can put a cover on such an old second-hand book. So let me say a proper goodbye and kiss you goodbye. I will take a close-up of this here at the end of the video. But else I want to say, I hope you have been enjoying this video. Not much stitching and fabric in this video, but I also like to work this way. Yeah, I like to do many different things. I'm all over the floor, and that's why I divide my content up in playlists, so you can find what interests you and skip the rest, because I know some people don't care for jelly printing or mixed media, but they very much like slow stitching and other things. But also many of you are exactly like me. You want to do many different things, and so you could just look what comes up. But anyhow, I really hope you have been inspired and you will go out and buy an old book and start yourself. It's a very cheap way to get a sketchbook and take inspiration everywhere you can and everything that's around you. So if you have, please give my video a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing my little Danish channel. That would be very helpful of you, and I would appreciate it very, very much. Hit the notification bell and give me a comment. Probably you're sitting out there thinking, oh, she shouldn't have put the black line on, or oh, why didn't she do this, or why didn't she do that? Tell me about what you would have done differently, and if you have any questions about materials or anything, I gladly ask them if I can. That is all I will say for now. Else, but please stay playful and creative, and please be nice to yourself and everybody around you, and not but least of all, please be nice to everybody. That's all for this Monday morning's mixed media piece, and see you sometime again in another book. Bye bye for now.